And let's finally address the big elephant in the room. Why do I have this picture frame around my neck? Well, it has everything to do with what I'm talking about, and let's just get right to it. Alright guys, so like I said, I have a great show for you today. We're talking about Kevin Hart, Drake, and the monsters from the video game Rampage. And let's finally address the big elephant in the room. Why do I have this picture frame around my neck? Well, it has everything to do with what I'm talking about. Let's just get right to it. So, Drake, Kevin Hart, and the monsters from Rampage all have something in common. That thing is that they all frame their minds. See, I use this empty picture frame because, I mean, look, my head is framed. Let's talk about what that means. So, when I say all three of them, or actually all five of them, Kevin Hart, Drake, and the gigantic ape, lizard, and wolf from Rampage. When I say they frame their mind, what I mean is that they have a singular vision. They keep on going for it no matter what. If you look at Kevin Hart, who is a funny comedian, an actor, a motivator, and just a pure inspiration, he is somebody who, regardless of what the outside noise has been saying, criticizing him for whatever thing that critics decide to criticize people on, he continues to frame his mind and, fulfill his life's yearnings. The reason why I really look up to Kevin Hart and what we can take away from what he does in his life as an entertainer is that he is someone who puts himself out there. He doesn't worry about what people are gonna say. He's an open book. You can watch his comedy videos, his stand-up. He's talking about real things that have happened in his life. He's not telling you jokes that are made up. At times, he might get a lot of flack for that, but really though, who cares? It's coming from critics, those haters out there, people who aren't fulfilling their lives' yearnings, and they don't have anything else better to do than to talk smack about somebody else flying in their own life. They're still locked to the merry-go-round. I mentioned this in my last video. If you guys haven't checked it out, make sure you go back and watch that one. That one was the #1 thing that you can do right now to fulfill your life's yearnings every day. And I brought up something called the merry-go-round syndrome. And just briefly, the merry-go-round syndrome is someone that finds themselves watching everyone else enjoy their life, flying in their own life, removing all their chains and their fears, insecurities, and are just flying to new heights. And that person with the merry-go-round syndrome is just someone who keeps on having this internal dialogue in their head that says, I wish I could do this, but I can't. Or it could also be someone who is negative or just very pessimistic, and they just find fault in other people who are flying just because they're just haters. People who are trapped in the merry-go-round syndrome. Not everyone. This would be like a small subset of people who just hate because they can't fly in their own lives, and just like the crabs in the buckets, they want to bring anyone else that is threatening to them or doing better than them or living their lives to the fullest potential. They just want to pull them back down. But that's not what we're about here at Fulfilling Life's Yearnings. And so Kevin Hart definitely frames his mind. When you frame your mind, what takes place is you just stiff arm all those distractions, all those outside noises, all those voices of people saying whatever it is that they're going to say about you. It doesn't matter because your mind is framed. The only thing that you're concerned about is living your life to the fullest, fulfilling your life's yearnings, and doing whatever it is you feel called to. And so that's how Kevin Hart frames his mind. There's also the one and only Drizzy Drake Rogers. He frames his mind by blocking out the distraction, the haters, the naysayers, by being real. Drake is one of my all-time favorite artists, entertainers, because he is so raw and vulnerable in his music to the point that it feels like I know him. I've never met the guy, would love to, just to be like, man, bro, like your music is so inspirational. And what it does for me is that from observing him and like Kevin Hart, two guys who have really broke the mold on on being 100% authentic, sharing their flaws, their successes, anything that goes on in their life. They put it in their work and showcase it. They don't shy away from putting their embarrassing moments out there for the world to see. But they're confident enough to do it, and they believe in themselves enough to continually put it out there because of this right here, right? They frame their minds. They're not letting any of that stuff that's gonna come out or backlash or what have you. It's not gonna deter them from doing what it is that they love and continually pushing themselves forward to reach new heights. All of us can do this same thing as well, as far as framing our minds and pushing ourselves to new levels and continually growing and prospering. That's what Fulfilling Life's Yearnings is all about. So that was Kevin Hart, Drake. They're both framing their minds. These guys are incredible entertainers. Don't have a care in the world about what other people are saying about them, and they steadfastly pursue their goals and they make things happen. The last thing, or the last three things, can you call it, are they even things? It's not even real. It's a video game, but guys, it'll make sense. So the third thing that I wanted to talk about, people, I guess, or even made up characters that are framing their mind, are the characters from the video game Rampage. In the video game Rampage, there's 3 monsters. In this video game, you have your main job as one of these monsters is to just wreak. Gosh, been watching too much Game of Thrones. Your main objective in this game is to wreak havoc on the town. You're being attacked by the people trying to stop you, but you don't let any of that bother you. And as those monsters, you know, you're just smashing everything. You know, no one can stop you. No one is gonna get in your way of taking down those buildings and getting to the next level. And I want you to look at your life the same way. You're the Drake of your life. You're the Kevin Hart in your life. You're that Rampage monster of your life. You're not gonna let outside forces come in and stop you from doing what it is that you wanna try, do, be a part of, experience, experiment with. Because when you frame your mind, you are fly, and you start to become of what's already inside of you. That is incredible to be able to do that, to reach the fly zone, break those chains in your life, get off of that merry-go-round, to escape that merry-go-round syndrome, which so many people are plagued with, and begin to really truly experience and enjoy life. So that's what Kevin Hart, Drake, and the monsters from Rampage have in common. They all framed their mind. I'm framing my mind. Literally, I have a picture frame over my head. I'm framing my mind. This video is gonna be out forever and ever and ever. And I want you guys to remember this. I'm the guy that said, frame your mind so you can fly. I'm gonna fly. I want you guys to do it too. Go out there, be fly, surprise yourself by doing one thing every day to take your life to a whole nother level and just continue to grow. So that's my time today, guys. Whoa. Thank you so much for joining in on Fulfilling Life's Yearnings with Blake. Make sure you guys message me down below. Tell me what you liked about this video. Tell me how you're going to frame your mind and what that looks like for you. Also, give me a thumbs up if you liked today's video. Also, make sure you check me out on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, or even my website, fulfillinglifesyearnings.com. All of that is below in the description. And I will see you guys next time. Peace!